All right. Hey, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So far, it's me and Keish. Bree should be coming in and Trish as well. How you guys doing? Listen, hey, Keish. They have been in this chat. I've been watching from my platform. They've been in this chat for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They're ready to go. Yeah, Vicky said it's showtime. Hey, Trish.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Trish, girl.
Yeesh.
How are you, Miss Trish?
Oh my gosh, y'all, this week has been crazy good. How about you?
Well, listen, birthday was Wednesday. I was off work Wednesday and Thursday and back to work today. It wasn't so bad, but pretty fun week. And then we got a birthday dinner tomorrow because my sister's birthday is today as well.
Nice. Happy birthday to T's sister.
Yep, so I'm on the 24th, she's on the 26th, and then my sister-in-law has a birthday. So all three of us are doing the thing this weekend for dinner, so.
That's fantastic.
Yep. All right, you guys, I know you guys are ready to talk. It's a whole bunch of folks up in here. Amaya, Gail, Blackpink Me, Melinda Pierce, Vicky, Morpheus, Monique, Cynthia, Medora. Jeez, did I miss anybody? Let me see. I think that
Melissa, did you say Melissa?
Melissa Spencer, Cheryl Hines. I think she was the first one in here. She beat Vicky in here today.
Hey, Maya.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you all for the birthday wishes that were all in the comment section on Wednesday. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Bree probably be popping in shortly. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, Trish, and Keish and Bree will be recapping both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of April 22nd. Hey, Bree.
Hey everybody. Sorry.
Hi, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Hey. Happy Friday.
Yay! We got everybody's here, and I'm assuming Jay Money will maybe drop in the chat pretty soon. So we'll see. All right, so we're recapping both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of April 22nd through April 26th, and I would say both. Well, I would say Young and the Restless was really interesting this week. Bold, until the end of the week, I would say. So, what do you guys think?
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, and I know Bree got something to say about something. So,
I got a lot to say about a lot of people. To be honest.
Oh, I can't wait.
all right. Can you guys in the chat? Can you hear everybody clearly? I know you probably can hear me, but can you hear the other three clearly? Because I have them set up on the other on this platform, so I want to make sure that you can hear them as well. I know I can, but I want to make sure you guys can. So just drop a yes or no in the chat and let me know if you can hear Bree, Trish, and Keish. Yep. 10.4. 10.4. Trish, what you talking about?
10-4.
Oh, 10.4.
I can hear you. 10-4.
You got 10.4 in there. I'm like, what is that?
Oh, I meant to put a slash. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start with the young. Oops, let me close that down. With the Young and the Restless. For the week of April 22nd through April the 26th. So hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Pull up my notes for the summary. Alrighty. Yeah, that whole thing with Ivy next week looked darn interesting, I gotta say the least. Okay, so for the Young and the Restless, for the week of the 22nd through the 26th, we have Let's see. Okay. Victor interrogates Jordan's accomplice, and Devon blindsides his sister, so Lily has to make a crucial choice. Mamie offends Lily, and Jordan's accomplice reveal everything, and the board votes against Nate. Victor knocks out Jordan. Kyle rescues Harrison, and Tracy is startled meeting Ashley's new persona, Belle. And then Victor lied that Jordan is dead, but holds her alive in a dungeon where while Claire cries out for help. And then finally, Belle fights with Miss Abbott over unaliving Tucker, and Billy is trying to finesse Lily, and Devon has an invitation for Tessa. Alright, who want to start it off first? I guess we can get Tessa and Mariah out the way. They were a pretty small snippet this week.
Yeah, I just saw that for Friday's episode. I mean, so I guess she's bored with being a manager. Well, good for her, and great timing for Mariah. Everyone just happens to show up. I mean, who knew Devon was going to show up at Abby's restaurant?
I know,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
It's magic.
You so crazy. I guess, I mean, it's almost like they don't know what to do with the two of them.
They don't.
They don't know what to do with those two. And, I know that, of course, they're providing representation. At the same time, they don't know what storyline to do because they did with the baby and the hearing situation. Tessa had surgery and she couldn't sing anymore. And then we didn't see them for a while because Cameron Grimes was pregnant last year. And then she came back, and then now they gave her a job at Society. Now they want to give her a job singing at the festival.
I honestly was kind of hoping that if they were going to keep Danny Romolotti around, that maybe they might sing something together and do a duet or something at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Danny was supposed to have left town 2 weeks ago.
Right? No, well, he moved it up to get away from Phyllis. And then he made it clear by asking Christine to go that he didn't want Phyllis, and Phyllis finally understood.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christine said she didn't want to go, so maybe he unpushed the dates, I guess. I don't know.
I thought he was finna leave town like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Cricket couldn't go, or she's taking some job. And now he's still hanging around where Tracy ran into him, and then they sit down and have a dinner this week. So now it sounds like with him talking to Tracy that maybe he's about to leave, but I don't know. It's like he's still hanging around to me. He ain't going nowhere.
I guess maybe he's planning, and the date just hasn't come yet for him to leave. Because I also assumed that like when he started talking about going on tour, that he was going to be gone like within the next couple of days, but maybe it's just in the planning stages right now.
I guess. But the thing is, where's Cricket? So did she go off to her job?
Cricket already clocked in at her job already. She completely forgot about this man. and this man is hanging around Genoa City in hopes that his permanent groupie would just go back on tour with him. And this decide for herself that she wants him, but she loves her career, and he knew that about her. So I just like T, I was like, well, I thought he left 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Cricket's job at? It wasn't in Genoa City?
I don't know. It was so vague. All they knew is they gave us this stupid spoiler talking about she has a blast from the past. But I was waiting to see what this blast from the past was, and it wasn't. It was an episode about her going into this job, or I got to take this. I can't turn this opportunity down. This is for somebody important. But they didn't say where. Is it in town? Is it out of town? She just disappeared after that, but he's still floating around Genoa City. So I don't know, Keish.
Me neither.
I don't know. It's just weird to me. And I mean, look, everybody need to make a paycheck, and if it's Michael Damian, his name, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, him being on the show, hey, put a couple more bucks in his pocket. But it's like, if you're going to have him straggling around town by himself, give him something.
Well, and what struck me so funny about he and Tracy sitting down acting like she has all the time in the world, she was literally 2 seconds before that panic stricken over where was Ashley.
Exactly. That didn't make sense. You know what? You're absolutely correct, Trish, because when I saw that, I'm like, she's just going to take a seat and start talking. I'm like, you looking for Ashley.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
She was happy. She was really trying to tear herself away from seeing Danny. If he gave her the opportunity, she would have took Danny if she could.
Mm-hmm.
The way it looked like. But I agree. Like, what's the point of him staying in town unless he's going to try to get with Phyllis? But it looks like Phyllis already moved on to her new man.
I was so excited about that.
I know you were.
Oh my gosh.
Trish.
I so want that to happen.
Trish want Nick back with Phyllis.
I'll always.
But you might get your wish. You might get your wish.
Yeah, I'll always take Nick and Phyllis together. I just didn't read into that scene too much because they had a scene, the one scene that they had previously when Phyllis was upset about Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was tipsy at that time, but people were speculating then that they were moving those two back together, and I don't know, I just assumed it was a random scene because of the whole Harrison thing.
Yeah, I mean, but they look so relaxed together. I mean, it's just
Fit, man.
they fit. They shouldn't have never broke them up to have her running behind Jack 2 years ago anyway.
Seriously. Just to prop up Diane.
Oh, Lord. Listen, Trish, you go from loving...
Don't get her started.
Please don't get her started.
I'm so proud of Diane and Phyllis this week and how they behaved.
Yeah, they gave each other a dirty look, but they got past it, so.
But they both knew that the reason they were there was so much bigger than them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they both grew up a little bit. I didn't hear any Diane or anything like that.
Yes.
They kept it very civil. And this is unfortunate. I had to compliment Diane.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what, Trish? Maybe Diane is not plotting anything. I know you've been saying that she's been plotting for the last year.
Yeah, I promise you guys, if by the end of the year, if she hasn't had some kind of a plot happen, I will absolutely eat those words. I will bake cookies in the shape of the word Diane, and I will put sugar on it, and I will eat it with you guys.
You gonna wait another full year though before you?
Yep, December 31st.
Oh my goodness.
She gets all of 24.
I mean. They gave that. I don't know whose redemption was more, hers or Claire. I mean, I think Claire was quicker.
For sure.
Without question. This woman almost unalived her whole family and is getting room and board and expense accounts and going to galas and just completely forgiven.
And possibly a new boyfriend, Bree.
Yep.
I mean, if that's a prize, then I guess good for her. I mean, Summer tossed him back to the streets and never looked back. She went to
Shoot, Audra tossed him back to the streets too.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a used automobile, so if Claire wants that, then by all means.
Oh, don't
oh my God.
Damn, that was rough.
That's not my fault.
How is it that bad?
It's not your fault.
You're right. You're right, Keisha. I apologize. He's not Liam.
Can I add this little ad lib in? And I know people that watch Bold, because there are people that don't watch Bold that watch Young. But the ones that did watch Bold, y'all see that preview for next week. I honestly like the chemistry between Ivy and Liam.
I do too.
Oh, I love Ivy. I'm so glad she's going to be back. I wish she'd be back.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't have well, Ivy either. She was annoying at times during her stint.
Self-righteous.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I didn't dislike her like I can't stand Hope.
Mm.
It was like she got on my nerves for the time that she was being annoying, but other than that, like she was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it was cool what she did for Steffi and Liam whenever they went to Australia for that really cool wedding, and she arranged the beach thing, and she arranged the music and the indigenous dancing and the boat ride that they went on, that really fast boat. That was a really cool destination shoot. I loved that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, we'll get the bold. That whole thing, when I saw that, because I didn't know how Ivy was coming back. Well, we know now.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Young. Back to the whole thing with which part were we talking about? Kyle and Claire and all of that. Claire is missing still. What did you think about Summer's reaction when Harrison told her, no, Claire didn't hurt me. The witch lady did.
We all knew she was going to eat those words.
Oh,
and at the same time of knowing she was going to eat those words and that she did take it a little too far with a few things she said, her kid's missing. And Claire, she's not over the fact that Claire did what she did to her dad and her granddad and her grandmom and her aunt. They may be over it, but she found out about it later. So she's still kind of processing how all that can go down, and everybody's just all hunky-dory with Claire. But she hasn't seen the work that Claire's done or how it's made her feel to be around the family. Or she hadn't even given her a chance yet. Hopefully it'll change.
Yep.
I agree. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Bree.
I was going to say I agreed, and Victoria's expectations kills me. Like, she just learned this information. You guys chose to keep this information for the rest of your family, and her child is missing. She has every right to feel afraid that Claire could harm her child. I mean, she had no problem harming her family, her dad, and it makes me more on Summer's side. Like, even after Harrison said that, I'm like, I still wouldn't trust Claire around my child at all. Like, she's only been to
Bree, you kind of phased out a little bit.
I cut out?
Yeah, just you cut out for a quick second.
Oh, okay, my apologies. I was saying, like, Claire hasn't really, really been punished for her crimes. If anything, she's been rewarded. So I kind of feel where Summer's at, like, hey, this isn't just because she wasn't a part of Jordan's team, like, hey, that doesn't mean I trust her. She's not, awarded my trust all of a sudden.
Did you say something, Keish?
I was just saying, right. I agree with what Bree is saying. Victoria cannot expect everybody to welcome Claire into that family the way she has, and her being frustrated with Summer for the opinion that Summer has right now is, I think she's being irrational. She has to give people time to process what Claire did and the fact that they are trying to, I guess, bring her into the family fold. So I feel like Summer's reaction was valid, because all she knows of Claire is that she, tried to get rid of her entire family, and that's it.
So, okay, I guess, because I understand where you guys are coming from. I just think that her bias overlooked the logic there, because everybody else can kind of see the logic and connect the dots that Claire probably wasn't involved, but she refused to see it even without the information. They were saying, well, okay, but this is happening. She couldn't be a part of this because of this, and A and B and C and D. And she refused to kind of look at the the logic of it all when everybody else was kind of putting the pieces together. And I guess she was more angrier at what, of course, like you say, what Claire did, I mean, to the family, versus saying, well, could she have actually really done this? And she gonna get a second realization about it on Monday. So,
That's what I hate about this whole storyline.
mm-hmm.
We as the viewers see how they set this up. They basically set Summer up to make her look like the jerk in this whole situation,
Right.
when her kid was kidnapped by someone that she doesn't know, or I'm sorry, the perception that her kid was taken by Claire,
Mm-hmm.
but they were kidnapped together, and they're setting her up to be the jerk in this whole situation, and it's so obvious what they're doing. They're basically throwing Summer under the bus.
Yep.
For Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've thrown Summer under the bus several times.
Mm-hmm. They've done it they're doing it for Claire. They did it when it comes to Abby. They did it when it comes to
yeah, Abby cheated with Summer's husband.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah, and everybody just thought, well, Summer's being so blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, how would you be if your cousin did that to you? Or no, your aunt, excuse me.
Yep. And she never did one thing to Mariah. Mariah came on the show bullying Summer. And
She did.
calling her a snowflake, just pissed off at the way Summer was raised.
Yep.
And now here we go again, another, female character in her age group, and automatically they're making Summer her opposition, and in addition to that, created a situation where Summer was going to be the bad guy.
Yep.
So to speak.
Okay, so Belinda Hill said Summer was hostile toward Claire before she even knew Claire's history because she was instantly jealous.
They were very polite at the table.
Yeah.
She was very polite and very smiley and very happy to meet her. And then she found out the other stuff and her tune changed. But no, she was very cordial. Happy to meet her, welcomed her to introduce her kid to her. We even said how, wow, look, Harrison has made a new friend really quickly.
Sammy says, I get that Summer is cautious of Claire, but at the same time, I think Summer was kind of overreacting.
I don't think there's a such thing as overreacting when your child is missing.
That is true. I feel Summer was overreacting when it came to her interaction with Kyle.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I do think.
Yeah, that was a little bit overboard.
Because I'm sorry, I was saying he knows just as much about Claire as she does. Like, he's new to the information as she is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that her emotions are correct, especially with her family. And Summer made a lot of valid points. Like, this woman has slipped out of your guys' fingers several times for several months. You guys still haven't caught her. And how well do you even know Claire? Like, she brought up very valid points that, to be honest, I'm looking at the Newmans on TV each week, and I'm like, how are you guys supposed to be this powerful family, but letting this woman, this 5-foot woman, slip through your fingers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wreaking havoc.
That's interesting. I've seen comments like this before on other areas of social media. So Jay Paxson says that they put a coat of paint on Summer. She has a checkered past though, but they now have changed her, but she's still leery of her because of how she acted before Lola, with Lola.
I mean, technically, Summer was, when they brought her back after the whole, she stole the car, whatever guy she was dating.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Summer's original personality.
Absolutely not. She
Before
was
that,
so sweet and so kind.
Yep. Before that, Summer was portrayed as she was the goody two-shoes, the good girl, which was around the time that Mariah came on, and that was one of the reasons why, and Mariah was the bully. It wasn't until Summer, they had that break, and then Summer came back, and they changed Summer's personality into being like the schemer, the bad girl, the trouble one, the one with the checkered past.
You might be selfish too if you came back after your aunt slept with your husband and everybody made it like it was your fault.
Exactly. She left after that incident where Abby slept with her husband. So I don't see an issue with them. In my opinion, they've matured Summer to where she's not that chaotic 20-something person who makes irrational decisions or bad decisions, and is trying to break up people's relationships and stuff like that. I call that maturity.
Yep.
You know who brought up her past? Her mama, and I'm very upset with her mom. Actually, I'm very pissed off with her mom. This woman had the gall to say that Summer made her a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Within a couple of years. Keep in mind, she just completely forgot about Lucy. Lucy is only convenient for whenever she wanted to go spend time and be over and see what Danny's doing over at Daniel's house.
I was wondering when you were going to bring that up.
Phyllis has been a grandmother for 20 years almost.
Mm-hmm.
I know Lucy's like 13, 14. I'm rounding up. Phyllis has had 20 years of experience.
Still round up too soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously a writer's flaw. Because it's like, how do you ignore talking about Harrison made you a grandmother? No.
So does each individual grandchild make you a grandmother again? And is that what you would say? Because I don't know.
I thought so. That's how I took it because I watched that scene today, and I can't remember exactly the words used that Nick said, but they were talking about Summer, and she said something like she got married, she became an instant mom or stepmom, and then Nick said, "And what did that make you, or what did that do for you, or something like that?" And she was like, "Well, she made me a granny," and I took it as she made her a granny because Harrison was her step kid now. So now she's a granny again. That's how I took it.
Go ahead, Bree.
I'm sorry. But she didn't bring up her other grandchild at all. She could have said, "I'm a granny again," or like, "I have a grandson. I had a granddaughter, now I have a grandson." She didn't make any reference whatsoever to Lucy, except for when it comes to getting involved with Danny, and that's the irritating part. Like, she's acknowledged Lucy. Actually, about a couple of weeks ago, she was all for that lawsuit, saying, "Daniel, you can't, protect your rights, Daniel. This is Princess Louisa. This is my granddaughter. This is her legacy." She remembered her then when there was some money involved and a lawsuit involved. Mm-hmm. But now, all of a sudden, Harrison made her a granny. So what was she before? Sheila would never do this to her grandchildren.
Speaking
Sheila don't even talk about her actual children. The only child she remembers right now is Finn.
Yeah.
Exactly, J. Paxton. Sheila and Phyllis share a grandchild, and Sheila would never turn down a chance to be with her grandchild or deny any of her children, even though we only seen her care about one.
I was trying to find that scene. Well, I'm trying to see if she said again or just.
She didn't say again. She said she made me a granny. It makes me a granny, I think, is what she said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I looked at it as just a poor choice in how they worded that statement. I didn't feel like she was saying it as if she made me a granny for the first time.
Okay, so they said they reminisce about Summer becoming an instant mother and Phyllis became a hot grandma. Well, you were supposed to be a hot grandma 15 years ago.
20.
Round up.
You're trying to round it up to 20.
Because the actress who plays her is almost 20 years old. I think she's like 18, 19. As a whole grown woman. So I rounded up with Phyllis. So she needs to tighten up and grow up. You've been a grandmother for 20 years. You've had plenty of experience. This is not new.
Does she call her grandma? Have you ever heard Lucy refer to Phyllis as grandma?
I think I have.
I've always heard her refer to her as Phyllis.
Okay.
It is now,
Phyllis.
when she's not around, like to her face, I think she says grandma.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I gotta say, I'm looking at the comment section. Gail was saying how Lucy never met her Uncle Finn. I would love for some type of crossover with that.
Has Lucy met any of her aunts and uncles?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
They don't even have Finn ask about his siblings, which blows my mind that they have never talked about her other kids. She's only said something about them once.
Right. When she was talking to Steffi.
Yeah. Right. And it was like a generalized statement. But like how has this never come up for Finn?
Well, I gotta say, I gotta give Harrison kudos for knocking that peanut butter sandwich out of the witch lady's hand.
Yeah, that was so good.
That was hilarious. He's not scared. He was like, get that garbage out of here.
I don't blame that little boy. I would not eat anything that she gives me either. That was so disturbing. But shout out to Colin Zink and the gentleman who plays Harrison now. That was a great scene because I wanted to reach out and grab her by the jugular because I hate like everything she was saying to him.
Yes.
Oh, your mom and your dad, they sent you to me. They don't want you anymore. Like that was absolutely disturbing, but that was great acting.
It was, yes.
Yeah, but I thought that was so funny when he knocked that plate out of her hand. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's a good little actor.
Yes, he is. Do you guys like the new Harrison?
I do.
I do too. He's adorable.
Yes, he
they
is.
both were.
All right, we got to keep it moving. We need to talk about some Chancellor-Winters business.
Oh, God.
And then we got to go. You know what? Before we even go there, we still got the lie that Victor told, even though he chloroformed Jordan, but he told everybody that she jumped in the river.
Yeah. We know that's going to backfire.
Listen, the crazy thing is, before they showed us the scene at the end with her being in his wine cellar, when he said, "Oh, she just jumped off in the river," I'm like, "Wait a minute, didn't he just put some chloroform on?" Yeah.
This was the How is it months later, this woman is still getting free room and board, courtesy of Victor and the other Newmans? How is it she is not in jail? And I did not like the fact that he came after Chance the way he did.
Me neither.
The fact that he has no problem utilizing chances to get away with most of his crimes. Same way he used Nate as well. It's you had the opportunity to put that woman in jail, and now you done told the whole family, "Oh yeah, oh she's unalive. She's unalived." Where's Claire? And then she's in his other lair. Like this is just really stupid on Victor's part. Like the Newmans just look really stupid right now. I don't understand this, but Victor most of all. What was the whole point of keeping her alive for? Put her in jail. Put her in some place that she's actually going to pay for her crimes. Why are you keeping her like a pet mouse?
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I mean, it's almost like, I understand they want to keep her around. Colleen Zink is a very good actress. I was shocked that she didn't get a nomination for guest performance for 2023.
Me neither.
They gave Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby a nominee. But I was surprised that Colleen wasn't in that list. I mean, because I think she killed it more in 2023 than what she's doing in 2024.
To the point where her storyline is carrying halfway through this year.
Exactly. Because at this point, the storyline is overkill. I mean, I can't keep, I gotta stop saying the word, but it's just because how
They're
many
going in
times is
circles.
this girl gonna get out? It's one thing that Sheila has gotten out multiple times over 30 years. She's gotten out about what, 5 or 6 times in 5 or 6 months.
Yeah,
Because of this, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say they're going in circles with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of the same people who let her loose and also want to fund her lifestyle
Yeah.
and put her in the south of France for 10 million, and then Jack wants to, like, let me waste more of my money too. Like,
Right. God.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm confused. And poor Harrison had to endure all this for no reason. He wants to eat regular peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without no poison in it. Come on.
Yeah, not that corner store bought cheap stuff, man. He wants the good kind.
Right,
He's
that you eat
the
in a
good bread
dirty,
too. Yeah.
in a dirty flea bag motel on a paper plate. You don't want that.
He is a grandson of a billionaire. The peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are like $50 a piece, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. They're making that peanut butter in the back.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, I don't understand what Victor is going to do with her locked in the cellar, telling everybody that she did. I mean, what, you going to go down there and poke fun at her every now and then just for entertainment? I don't get
Right.
it.
And you got to feed her, and you got. I mean, that it's just
Free room and board.
I mean, here's the thing: if she's dead to the world, what, you gonna let her die in your wine cellar?
you.
I don't think
Ew.
he knows what he wants to do with it. They're doing to her just like they did with Sheila, to where they had her come in and do the most extreme crime, and now when I say they, I mean the show. Now they don't know what else that they can do with her because
Mm-mm.
she's a criminal now on the, or not on the run anymore, but locked in. Now she's locked in a cellar. So it's
Yeah.
like they're grasping for straws, trying to figure out how to keep her on screen. Because what else can they do other than have her be on the run or sit in jail?
Yeah, and you can't redeem her. She's like
Mm-hmm.
you said, her actions has just been too extreme. So there's no, like what they're trying to do with Sheila. That ain't gonna work right now with Jordan.
Yeah, there would be no way to do it. Like
Nope.
how could you do that? She admitted
Exactly.
what she did, right? It
Yeah, so
was,
that's what I'm saying. Victor, what is his plan? Just to have her rot in that cell and then she just eventually pass away, and what, they just get rid of the body or something? I don't
I mean, why not
understand.
just take her to the bridge and toss her in the river like they said?
Oh
right.
my goodness. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it was one thing that, she hid in the wall and she escaped the Genoa City. She went to jail and she set the place on fire, and then she got out and then she poisoned herself, and then Nikki says, "Let me call 911," when Claire said, "Just leave her here." It's just like, y'all don't know what to, I mean, yes, she's a good actress, but y'all screwed the storyline up. It's like you
Yep.
say, in circles.
Yep.
I was really trying to think about what they could do with her. Like, and you mentioned it before. She was the woman who crawled in a vent,
Mm-hmm.
looking at them, smiling, and I'm like, this. How did this woman has 9 lives,
Yeah.
literally.
Now, you know what I wouldn't mind? I know they're trying to reform Sheila Carter, but I wouldn't mind if these two were working together. Could you imagine the havoc that they
Mm.
could bring on LA and Genoa City?
I'm hoping. I'm going to throw this out there to the writers or whoever would listen. I would love for Sheila to come to Genoa City at this point. Even bring Deacon with her. Like it would make more sense because there's more storylines for her on Y&R than B&B right now. Like, she could interact with Lucy more than her other grandmother, Phyllis. She can actually, I would love to see, bring Daisy back too, because I would love to see Heather's reaction to Daisy, and also it gives Phyllis something to do too. Like, there's just more for her there, and then who knows? Like, Sheila and Jordan might actually pop up at a bar one day. Like, hey, we might have some things in common.
Yeah, I think, man, that would be crazy if they put them two. If they bring old Sheila back, because right now she's in her soft girl era, you know, painting toes, fixing dinners, and all that good stuff for Deacon and working in business. But if they had old Sheila matched up with Jordan, it would wreak havoc.
Oh yeah, poor Lauren.
Yeah, I know, right? Lauren and Nikki.
Even if even if they did that, they would have to write the storyline to where it wouldn't be so short term, because you can only commit extreme crimes for so long before you're caught, and
Yeah.
then they can't do anything with the character but put them in jail or have them be on the run.
Or unalive them. Like
Yeah,
Cameron Kirsten.
yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's like they have to tone down the type of havoc they're wreaking on people to where they're not doing stuff that's going to put them in jail for the rest of their lives. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that can like redeem Jordan is if she had like a brain, I hate to say a brain tumor, and that was the reason why it was just causing all of her crimes. That's the only redemption I can kind of see for Jordan. Other than that, they are just kind of just having her just hop all over the place. And I don't like the fact that she's involved in other families. Like Jack needs to focus on Ashley and all
Yeah.
20 of her people.
Yeah, that none of this, it's just so much between Connor and what he got going on, and then this situation with Jordan, Nikki and her alcoholism, and then you got Ashley with this DID. It's just like, my goodness, it's so much dysfunction. And I know they're bringing awareness to the situation with Connor, which we'll see a lot more of that on Monday. But it's just so much going on, and like you say, Bree, Jack need to focus on his sister. I am about tired of Nikki keep showing up over there. How they keep letting this girl just go off by herself? She showed up drunk. I think that was last week at Jack's house, or was it early this week?
It was both.
It was both.
She
She's
just showed up.
lying to her daughter, saying that she's
Yeah.
not. She's sneaking little nips here and there. She's lying to her husband. Jack is covering for her. And then, as we saw in the Friday preview, it's going to get worse next week where she's destroying property.
Oh, I hated that this was in a hotel. I'm like, Jack, no, this is never good. Ever. And I saw the stuff that online about them putting Jack and Nikki together, and I think you guys might be right.
What do you mean?
That this is leading to Jack and Nikki being together.
Ew.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I still don't see that happening.
Yeah, because I know that
But yeah,
she's going to have that whole conference, that whole thing happen toward the middle of next week. And Victor will find out about it. He's going to try to protect her at all costs. But I will say, I think it's Friday, the third episode, where Jack has got to pay for his whatever has happened. So, I mean, at this point, at what point do anybody in this family say that she need to go to rehab? This is too much. Besides the alcohol being injected in her, and she's been drinking and doing reckless behavior and going rogue and all this other stuff, is somebody gonna put her in rehab? At least they're trying to give Ashley some help. Y'all keep telling her to go to a meeting.
Uh, they, you meaning Tracy? Yeah, they being Tracy, yes. Not Jack, not Billy, not anybody else. Tracy's the only one who seems to be like really active on making sure she locates Ashley. Like hopping in bars and everything. Like, where's my sister at? But Jack had Jack had an opportunity as her sponsor to recognize, hey, she really needs help. And Cheryl Hines is right. He's a terrible sponsor.
Absolutely.
He's a horrible sponsor. At this point, he knows more about the stuff that she does privately than the rest of the Newman family. If he's her sponsor, he needs to, have more, either give Victor responsibility or actually find a rehab facility and say, hey, this is the next direction for you. I can't be your sponsor no more. Release himself from that role so he can actually focus on his wife and his own family.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because, I mean, at this point, he can't do nothing for her. It's not working. It's horrible. And pay attention on Monday's episode because she tried to take accountability for some things and he's enabling her. I'm like, no, don't say that. No, that's not who you are. She's trying to realistically look at her behavior. And when somebody is saying, oh, don't do that to yourself, you're being hard on yourself. No, she's seeing that she has a problem. I mean,
Mama said you can't force someone into rehab in 2024, which is
true.
But they haven't even mentioned it.
They haven't even talked to her.
Yeah, Vic hasn't mentioned it. Jack hasn't mentioned it. Like, no one is even saying, Nikki, I think you need to go into rehab.
It was only mentioned one time, Keish, and that was Victoria brought it up about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying force. That's the direction he needs to point her in. Whoever she needs to talk to at a rehab facility versus calling him whenever he's in a family intervention or he's looking for his grandson or he's running his business. He cannot be a phone call away for him at this point because he's not even going to be a good sponsor. He needs to point her in direction to a rehab facility.
The other thing is that he's allowing, and even Victor allows her to call the shots. We've been saying that for the last couple months. She's been dictating how she wants this to go, who can do what. You're going to let me do this because it's of my sobriety, and it's not working. You're using your sobriety to do what you want to do.
Right.
Not because it's actually going to help you. And it's being manipulative at this point, and it's not working. And Victor is like, okay, well, if it's going to help you stop drinking, then sure, let's do it. And it doesn't. She's just doing what she want to do. Just like Victoria. She sat up there and lied in Victoria's face. She up in there screaming and hollering at them, and Victoria's like, what's wrong with you?
I want to be the bait. I want to be trapped. I'm like, you've done it so many times. You didn't had months of being the bait and being a trap. And then you catch this woman and then she magically gets away because of you all.
None of her plans work. None of them. At what point do you just say, let me just stop?
Exactly. I'm making things worse.
Right. I'm making things worse. And then she thought that the girl didn't even show up when Jordan did show up. And, of course, Victor got a hold to her. But it's just like, oh, my God. Somebody needs to, like you say, point the direction to the nearest rehab. Connor's getting help. They trying to get Ashley help. The guy's coming over from Paris next week. Now somebody need to point her into the direction of getting some help.
Because she's not at work. She hasn't worried about Newman Media. Nobody has been in a Newman office in God knows how long. So she has plenty of time to go and get help. And it's not going to benefit her, Victor, to have her, the person who started her alcoholism back up in a wine cellar in the same household. Who can come in and try to unalive everyone in that whole household. That was very foolish.
Dumb. I don't get that. That whole thing, when I saw him talking to her down in that wine cellar, I'm like, what was y'all thinking when y'all wrote this? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
This woman escaped prison. She could easily escape this little wine cellar. She could squeeze through that.
I think that was his excuse the last time that he was holding her hostage down in whatever that basement was that he had her. He said something like, well, putting her in prison doesn't work because she just breaks out. So basically he just wants to control the situation.
Right. Okay, but what are you gonna try to control? Now here's the thing. He need information on where Claire is from her. And she looking at him like, yeah, okay. She got leverage. Your granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could say, well, I ain't saying nothing until I get out of here. You send me to France. You do whatever. What would be the purpose for locking her in there? That was not a smart move to me. Not while your granddaughter's still out there.
That was so foolish.
I
He
know.
didn't bother to check to see that Harrison was okay, that his other grandchild was okay, to see if everybody was accounted for before announcing she's unalive. That's ridiculous to me.
Mm-hmm. Just terrible. I was like, this is who wrote this mess. But anywho, all right. Speaking of Ashley, Belle's Miss Southern Belle.
Y'all, that was so funny.
Mm-hmm. Girl.
I I feel like it was like a southern like Samantha Jones in a way. um, but it
Do you remember the character Delta Burke played on Southern
Finding women.
Mining Women? Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Pitchier, you know.
All I know is her and that tequila and flirting with that guy looking at his butt. And then up there singing and dancing and grinding up against the piano with the piano man. I'm like,
Embarrassing.
Eileen Davidson is just, oh my goodness.
Working on that Emmy.
Yes, she is. If she don't get a nomination next year, I know she gonna be super hot. Like,
I will riot. I'm gonna riot. She's been knocking it out of the park every single week so far. And also shout out to Vicky Langer. She said she saved his life half already for her early Saturday breakfast. Thank you.
oh,
That's
cool.
awesome. But Eileen, she's definitely working on this Emmy for next year, and it will be ridiculous if she doesn't get nominated.
I know, right? I know. Oh my goodness. She is rocking it. I guess Little Ash is gone. She got rid of Little Ash and brought Southern Belle, but Southern Belle got control and Miss Abbott is still handcuffed to the bed. It's like, what was that switch out for?
And
Well, didn't she say she felt like the Miss Abbott was going to ruin Ashley's life?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Because she wants to get rid of Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miss Abbott thought Belle was going to be on her side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't. Nope. But she is too funny. Oh my goodness.
So good.
yeah, Belle wants to be on somebody's bedside. She said that's the best solution is get her a new man.
Wait a minute. Did you see what she tell Audra to get rid of the daddy issues?
Yeah.
That was funny.
They
Oh
both couldn't say nothing after that. I was like,
no. That was too funny. They need. She worked those funniest lines. Like we go way back when she was sitting up there talking to Abby, calling her a brat and me, and then how she was laughing on the couch, binge watching rom coms or whatever it was. This is what I like to see from Eileen. I really like the fact that she showed the versatility in her acting.
Yeah, she's good.
Yes, she is.
speaking of Abby, has no clue what's going on with her mom at this point, right?
No, she still don't. You are
But
right about that.
but she has time to be at board meetings and wearing green and feeling jolly and giant. But just no. Why haven't they like? Why have what's going on with the writers and why haven't they put Abby in the scenes with her own mother? Why is Tracy taking the role that Abby really should be making. Like saying, "Hey, you need to get help. Let's get you therapists." Like her looking around for her mom and trying to be, a comforter. That's ridiculous. I don't understand that.
You know what, oh, go ahead, Keisha.
I was just gonna say they don't even mention Abby when
Nope.
they're discussing Ashley.
Nope. I was just about to say that there is nothing where we hear Abby saying, "Oh, I'm worried about my mom. She got some stuff going on right now." It's like Abby has no clue.
I don't think she does. I don't because they're not involving her. They talk amongst each other. The siblings do,
Mm-hmm.
and about it. None of them say anything about, hey, we need to bring Abby in on this, or have you called Abby and let her know what's going on with Ashley. I think she really needs to be involved. Like none of it. They haven't mentioned or Abby's name at all.
Mm-mm.
And Billy's seen her at the office too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now we saw in the episode today when Billy was trying to finesse um, that he told Lily about what's going on with Ashley. Now I'm wondering, bumping into her at work, is she going to say, "Well, how's your mom?"
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's it's a lot of weird writing situations going on this show. I mean, it's interesting content to watch, but then it's like, well, why didn't you do this? With the mom and daughter, or why did you put her in
Yeah.
the wine cellar when she could break loose out of? It's just some certain things just don't make sense to me.
And even if they weren't going to have, for whatever reason, couldn't have Ashley and Abby in scenes together, just even hearing it in dialogue would be enough.
Correct.
And we don't even hear dialogue.
Well, and then I mean, would Abby's a grown adult? Well, I don't understand why they're keeping it from her.
Right.
I would be so angry. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm in Abby's shoes, I have a right to know what's happening.
Right. I agree.
She has. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keisha.
It makes me wonder if they're not keeping it from Abby. It's just the show not showing them talking about it and not showing Abby talking about it. And then in, I don't know, a month, we're going to hear Abby talking to somebody about it, telling them what's going on because she has been involved the whole time. We just didn't see it. It's that old goofy stuff that they do that just pisses me off.
But
Yep.
you should be able to see how worried Trace. I mean, because think about it. Ashley has been having blackouts. She's been missing, showing up in places, don't know how she got there. All these old crazy things. And the last time we seen an interaction between Abby and her mother was at the GCAC when Abby thought that she was going upstairs to see Tucker. But that was it. This was before the whole, what they trying to get with her going to the doctor and everything that happened last week when she pretty much read everybody the riot act. But I just don't like the fact that they don't say anything. I mean, she's walking around there happy and gleeful like ain't nothing going on in her life.
Yeah. Kit Kat said Jack and Tracy will not tell Abby about her mother. Did they actually said that in dialogue that they don't want to tell Abby?
Yeah, let us know if you. I don't remember seeing that, but Kit Kat, if you heard or maybe we missed something that they said that they wouldn't tell her, I just think that's horrible to me.
I think it's horrible that the Newman still kept her out of the Jordan scenario, especially now that it's reached another family. She should be aware to protect her child and herself at this point. So she's been left out of a lot of stuff for all of last year. And I'm kind of glad that she did her own thing, but when it comes to her safety, this should matter. We shouldn't see it. And now her mother, like, we shouldn't see scenes where she's talking to Devon and I understand she wants to be there for her man, but it would be nice to kind of see her, like, well, at least calling and checking in, or like Tracy, while she was looking for Ashley, like call and like ask Abby, like, hey, have you seen your mom? She's distraught. She's such and such, and actually get Abby's POV on the matter if she's not going to be in front of her mom helping her. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't know why they won't do that, but it affect both sides of her family. Both sides. The Abbotts and the Newmans. So
Yeah.
with this Jordan situation. So she don't know about Jordan on the loose. She has a son out there too.
Yep.
Like you just said, and then the fact of her mom. It's I don't know. This is crazy writing to me.
Hmm.
Okay, so we still gotta talk about the situation with Chancellor-Winters. So what do you think about that, you guys? Because are they trying to cause problems between Lily and Devon?
100%.
It
Oh
seems like they're
gosh.
always trying to cause problems between Lily and Devon.
Okay, I got a news update. Look like Marla Adams, Dina, she passed away it came out 3 hours ago.
Um,
Oh,
I
Oh
saw
my.
that right before the pod started.
Mm-hmm.
may she rest. Oh,
She was 85.
Wow, what an amazing long life.
She was a great actress too.
condolences to the family and the friends who. That's so sad. Oh my goodness, who just lost her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Unfortunately, wow. Okay. All right.
And you know
Um.
what she would say?
Say it
She
again.
would say, you know what she would say
Hmm.
to all of us?
Hmm.
And the show must go on.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, she would. She would. Yeah. Condolences to her and her family at this
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Look like it just came out within the past several hours. So. All right. Anyway, with Chancellor-Winters. So I know I asked that question. I got sidetracked. So what were you guys saying about Lily and Devon? Do you think they're trying to put a division between those two?
Absolutely.
And it sucks.
Yep.
They just did this with the merger.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it again.
Yep.
It's a pattern. I feel like it's a pattern with the Winters kids specifically. And like I know that the Newmans have infighting and the Abbotts have infighting, but I feel like they have their spats, and then in a couple of weeks they're all good. They like eventually they unite against whoever, and I feel like with Abby and Devon, there's only three of them on screen, maybe every once in a while, and I feel like with the three of them, it's constantly them just not being on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
just not agreeing with each other, and like even with the way they treat Mamie, how they don't trust her, um, they don't trust Nate, or one combination doesn't trust the other, and it's like their family isn't big enough to do that as much as they do it, and it just seems like it's constant with them, and it's frustrating to watch. It's annoying.
Lack of unity.
Hmm.
Yep.
And I don't understand why they. I don't know. I don't understand why they consistently do that with their family specifically.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I'm seeing, and then you got Billy trying to finesse Lily. That whole thing is
Mhm.
just and it's not genuine. We haven't seen these two been that nice and cordial and relaxed with each other since they were dating, and that's been
Exactly.
what, over 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. A long time ago.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden it looks disingenuous because we know what he's trying to do. He's
Hmm.
trying to touch her emotional side, talk about the kids, talk about our past. Remember when you used to get a kids that look, and I'm like, Billy, come on. I'm hoping Lily does not fall for it.
I know.
But she's eating it up. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not doing anything else. She gave him the time of day.
I'm
Um,
hoping she's putting on an act for him to make him think that she's falling for it.
Yeah.
and my thing is, in hopes of what? I really don't know what Lily's goal is at the end of the day, and that's in that whole board meeting. I was very frustrated with her responses, her answers. Like, The first thing was Nate. If it was in Neil's will for him to have a seat on the board, honor those wishes. I mean, Nate already has a job there. Even Devon has given the okay, and he has a lot more estate than Lily does. Go ahead and just say yes and let that man have a seat on the board. And then Jill is trying to reason with this woman, saying, hey, let Daniel have his games. We have plenty of money. We can recuperate that. We're an intelligent team. We can move past this. No. So I'm like, what Lily's like, no, for what? What is her end goal with all of this?
I actually think, with regard to the whole Nate situation, Devon was in the wrong there. He should have talked to Lily beforehand in private. Spring her on her and everybody else. When you have an agenda set for a board, no matter how big it is, that was really very presumptuous of him. And I also think that Nate should never be on the board, whether it was in Neil's will or not. Neil wasn't there to see Nate do what he tried to do. And if Neil had seen Nate do what he tried to do, I don't think Neil would want Nate on the board. But that's
Trish.
What you say?
I agree with Trish. I agree with her as far as Devon was, in my opinion, that was a bad move for him to go into the meeting and not give Lily a heads up about what he was going to ask. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't have pulled her to the side and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I want to vote to put Nate back on the board. Like, what do you think? He gave Abby a heads up, but you don't give, why would you not give Lily a heads up on that? Like, that was stupid. In my opinion, that was stupid. That should have been a conversation before that meeting even started. And then you bring Nate in there. And not that he said anything to Nate, before it started, but you brought him in there, told him what it was going to be about. And I'm sure, he probably got his hopes up in that moment. Yep. Like, all of that could have been done and out the way had he had a conversation with Lily first instead of springing it on her at the time of the vote. Like, that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I thought it was humiliating for Nate for that to happen.
Well, you know what, that ties into right before that board meeting where Billy was saying how Devon is not cohesive with her and he could be keeping secrets, and then they walk in that meeting and she gets sprung upon that idea from Devon about Nate. So she looks at Billy like, oh wow, you were right.
And what can she do about it? She has no ownership whatsoever to that company. And that's where a lot of the writing just gets to me, because what is the end goal with Chancellor-Winters? I don't understand everyone's point of view and their goal and how they want to expand the company, whose roles are in the company. And I feel like the person who keeps getting used as like an scapegoat is Nate in this case. And that's why I feel really bad for him. And I feel like Lily really shouldn't have a choice in that matter, because if that was in the will, honor that person's wishes. She is CEO felon of all things, and she has received her redemption. Nate has worked and had his redemption. Devon is cheater, pumpkin eater. Everyone has had their faults, but he has earned his right, especially if he's working towards that. If she didn't feel that he's earned it, he wouldn't have a job there. So he's working towards that. But it's just, what is the end goal of all of this for everybody?
I think there's a difference, though, in him having a job versus him having a seat on the board. And I'm not saying that Nate should never, ever be given a chance to be on the board. But if Lily feels like he still has some time to prove himself after trying to steal the company from Devon, then I don't think she's being irrational.
I guess,
and I think that Devon being a cheater with Abby has anything to do with whether or not he should be allowed to run his company. or her being a felon previously, because Jill knew it and she hired her anyway.
Well, I guess my thing is, why did she say no? What was the motivation behind it?
Exactly.
Was it truly because he don't deserve to be on the board, or was she trying to be kind of low key spiteful because Devon didn't give her the heads up? Because that reaction on her face when she realized that nobody talked to her, Abby got knew before she did. She looked right over at Billy and then decided to say no. I'm wondering if Devon had a spoken with her and say, "Hey, my dad put this in the will. We need to make sure that he gets a spot." I'm wondering if her answer would have been differently.
I think it
I don't know.
would.
Well, that's why Devon should have talked to her ahead of time instead of springing it on her in the
Right.
meeting.
So then it had nothing to technically do with Nate. It had her to have that reaction because she didn't like what Devon did.
Possibly, we don't
I
know. That's just our speculation as to why she voted no.
But I guess, go ahead.
I was going to say Devon made a very valid point that Lily was the one who pushed for Nate to come back to the company, and that
Give him a
and
chance.
he
Immediately he gets to be on the board.
not immediately, but he's showing that he's on their side. It wasn't. She would have to make a really good case as to why he doesn't deserve it, at least as of now, because there could be a lot of things said about a lot of people who are in position now who have a seat on the board who doesn't deserve it. It's a lot of the people, even Jill, have probably done similar things to what Nate has done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about honoring that person's wishes. I didn't like that part. That's all. But it's. I just want to know her position as to what is she trying to gain with knocking him out of that seat position.
Yeah.
Who does she want in it?
I mean, my thing is, Abby got a seat on there. Why? Because she's Devon's girlfriend. She don't even work there. She just said, "I want a seat. Let me have it," and they gave it to her. Say it again.
I didn't agree with her being on the board either.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna give Abby a seat, I think you need to give Nate one. I mean, that's in my opinion. Now, Jill voted against it, but, there's this whole thing about the weighting of the scales and who has more leverage than the other, which is why they brought Chance there, and I don't even know what he do. So.
But he's not on the board, right, Chance?
No, I'm talking about the leverage that they're trying to have with balancing the power within the families. So, and they brought him along for that.
Hiring random people, and no one has a clear title and a clear qualifications. Like nothing. I don't understand this. Like it's like, what is Chancellor-Winters? Like what are they? What do they want in the end?
Wait a minute, hold on. You got anything, Trish?
I mean, it's really a cluster because, quite frankly, none of them know what they're doing. If this was the real world, they would have all been kicked out, and the investors would have come in and take over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just watch it happen, and I just want them to separate. I'm over it.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I didn't like that they merged in the first place. Like at first. When the idea was first brought up, I did like the idea of Lily and Devon working together, but shortly after it happened, it was like, this wasn't a good idea. And after thinking about it, I wish that he would have just kept his company separate. He didn't need another corporation to attach to his company that he built with his father. That now it seems like Billy is trying to kick him out of for his own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what cracks me up too is that when Mrs. Chancellor was around, Chancellor Industries was like the mega mastodon behemoth conglomerate.
How many adjectives you have?
I think I'm just expressing how huge Gene Cooper's world was. But that character, they owned everything. And so to act like it was so important to become powerful to get Hamilton-Winters when you are Chancellor Industries, the whole thing to me was comical, and there should have never been a 50-50 anything.
Yeah.
Who was
You
that?
know?
Was that you, Key? One of y'all was saying that they didn't like the fact of blending the two companies together. Just to have them, meaning Winters, just keep their own company by itself. Who was that?
I mean, that's what I
That's
would
was.
like to happen. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want him to take his company back. And
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, so when the storyline first
Mm-hmm.
came up, like when Lily first introduced the idea to Devon, I did say that I would like to see them work together because I want to see the Winters kids win.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit after it happened, and then they started with the whole power struggle between Chancellor and then between Hamilton Winters, and basically having to run all of their ideas and stuff through Jill, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I have
Gotcha.
been wanting him to just try to break away from Chancellor and to be back on his own again, because I don't like the fact that they have to go through Jill for everything. And that
Mm-hmm.
they all agree to whatever deals and all that kind of stuff that they want to do. I want Devon to have ownership of his company and to be able to run his company the way he wants to run it without having to answer to and consult with Jill or anybody else about it. Just like Jill was doing with Chancellor, and just like Victor Newman does with his company, just like Jack does with his company. Devon needs to be separate and on his own, like everybody else is.
Mm-hmm. What about the other part of this board meeting with regards to Daniel and Heather? Jill is like, just give him his toy back and let him go home. Lily is like, now we got it, we keep it. So it does it even with what Jill is saying, because I know we've had this conversation over the last few weeks, and I know some other social media areas, was pretty much saying, hey, a lot of money been spent into that thing. He only had an idea. We put the money into it. So, do you think Jill was right, or do you think Lily is right in this case about that game?
I feel the person with the experience running that company said it's not even worth the legal expense and Lily's audacity and pettiness to continue forward. So let that man have his video games. And Lily was really just stuck in her pettiness, wants to waste company money to prove what point?
She's hurt, man.
I,
She's going to hang on to every ounce of everything. And, she's right. The company did pay for everything, but the firing was absolutely 1,000% personal. And their lawsuit's probably going to have merit. So
well,
we'll see what happens.
and this is from Trish Hughes.
Exactly.
Issues.
Trissues, baby. Trissues. Tell me all about it.
Listen, I mean, yeah, wrongful termination unless there is a morality clause, right, Trish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and two, who defines the morality clause?
It could be subjective, right?
Bingo.
And they haven't even brought anything like that up. Even Jill has. And so she's probably thinking about, like, man, this could be a huge loss depending on how this could go. And Lily's just like, no, it's okay. We'll be fine. Let's just spend the money. It's not my money. I have no stake in this company. It's your stake. So it's no problem.
Right. And I mean, could you imagine it being written about in Forbes? CEO fires her ex-lover subordinate And his ex-wife who got back together, who was also her subordinate.
And did you hear Jill say that Heather found a loophole? So obviously your so-called ironclad contract isn't so ironclad if another attorney can pick it apart and find something.
Right.
Did she say she found a loophole, or that she
may
try to find one? She'll try to find a loophole.
I thought they said she found one. Let me look at the. What did that girl say?
That loophole's going to come into play, and it's going to blow up in Lily's face.
Of course, they're setting her up.
Yeah, this was pointless for this woman to even want to go after a lawsuit. And plus, Daniel and Heather can sue her civilly and say, like, hey, she fired me over personal issues, and this has affected me, my livelihood, it's affected my place to stay, like anything. She put herself in a horrible position for no reason.
She ain't doing all that. He barely even wanted to sue the company. That Billy, by the way, suggested that they do.
Let me see.
The pot stirrer.
It gets thicker.
I bet.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find exactly what Jill said. That happened across 2 episodes, didn't it?
Yeah, where they talked about a loophole.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to come into play. And then what's going to happen to Lily's job then? Like,
it'll be Billy's job.
That's what this is coming down to. He claims
Jill.
Go ahead.
Jill was going to mention something like that,
because
if I were Jill, and if I was adamantly against this lawsuit, I would have just straight up told Lily, if you do this and you fail, you're losing your job. And maybe that would have changed Lily's mind about not, giving what's his name, Daniel, what he wants. But it was almost as if she was very nonchalant about it. She was just like, okay, well, if this is what you want to do,
we'll see how much money it costs them.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, Billy brought it up. Billy brings up the loophole Heather is trying to exploit. So it is a loophole. Billy found it.
Is there a loophole, or did he say she will try to find a loophole to exploit?
No, he said Billy brings up the loophole Heather's trying to exploit. So they found something, and she's going to use it against them.
Yep. And this was such a horrible choice that they did for Lily. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. It would have been more fun for her to be like, newly single and like having like a hot, sexy love affair with Nick. I know J Money doesn't want her with Nick, but looks like they put Phyllis and Nick. They're going to put Phyllis and Nick together. But like it would have been more fun to see her in like that sort of way, and just enjoying working and not letting these men kind of just run her and just walk all over her like a doormat.
I honestly think just watching the two of them together, Lily and Billy, they got chemistry. They still have it.
Yes, they do. I was like, Lily.
He has more. His chemistry is better with her than it is with Chelsea to me.
Oh yeah.
Much better.
Trish, say it with your chest, girl.
100%, yes. I was so mad whenever they broke them up. It was so senseless to break them up.
Yeah. They got a lot. I mean, the way they was sitting back laughing and relaxed and had that whole conversation at the jazz lounge, and they're talking about the kids and the fathers, and Billy knows exactly what to do. It's just unfortunate that it's being disingenuous.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope for her and Nick.
They haven't put them two they haven't put them two together since that one day, and that was what, a month ago?
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Phyllis has had more time with Nick within that time frame than Lily had.
They were on screen that night that she was drunk after Danny broke her heart, and this week with Harrison. So they ain't been on screen with each other that much.
More than Lily.
More than Lily.
One more scene.
I think Lily had 10 minutes.
And she paid for lunch.
Right.
She sure did.
Oh my goodness.
Every penny too.
Mm-hmm.
I would have paid for Nick's lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord. What do y'all think about Cole and Victoria right quick before we move on to Bold and the Beautiful?
It's like a comfortable old slipper.
That's about it. Do you see chemistry or sparks between them two?
No.
He had more chemistry with Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope they lean him more towards her direction.
Which one? Belle, Miss Abbott, or?
I mean, either which one will give him some personality.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that whole thing with Victoria and Cole is dry. Now, I do like the fact that he's in the storyline because of him being Claire's father. So I get that part. But the chemistry between him and Victoria is just like they're trying to force it.
Amaya Baker says she sees chemistry. I was trying to see if anyone else saw chemistry with those two.
J Money said Nick and Lily ain't happening.
Well, we know Jay is being a hater.
A hater. All right. Did we cover everything on The Young and the Restless?
I think so. I was trying to think of anything else.
I couldn't think of anything else. We had a lot of different storylines this week. We had Ashley. We had Chancellor-Winters' business. We had the stuff with Jordan, the kidnapping. So, I think that's everything.
Yep.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yep, it was. Now we're going to switch over to Bold. Bold and the Beautiful. But before we do, how many in the group chat, Bree?
Over 115.
115. Wow. All right, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Follow on TikTok, Facebook, Threads. What's the other one? Instagram, Rumble, and yeah, all those different places. We're over there. And yeah, Bree just put it in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. All right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Bold and the Beautiful for the week of the 22nd through the 26th. So, Steffi thinks Deacon is delusional. Liam tells Steffi a love like theirs never go away. We also see Lauren giving Deacon the details about Sugar. Brooke is shocked that Zende slept with Luna, and romance is dampered between Steffi and Finn when he brings up Hope and Sheila. Hope apologizes to Steffi and Deacon, pleads his case with Finn as R.J. and Luna declare their love for each other. Ridge updates Brooke on how Thomas is doing, and Hope defends Deacon to Steffi. And then Deacon and Finn follow a lead on Sheila's whereabouts to a woman in a rundown building. So, I mean, let's just go ahead and deal with RJ and Luna.
Yeah. I hate how I feel like no one's coming. I feel like everyone's talking in circles around each other. And I was really surprised that Brooke really inserted herself into this whole thing and extra sensitive to what's going on with Luna, and like, oh my goodness, I've been in this position. Like, yeah, with your destiny. And I can understand RJ being upset. Like, I do get that. But he's already forgiven her. So is he like trying to navigate not how to be in a relationship with her, how to work with her? And I feel like Zende's also taking a lot of heat as well, and it's just a very unfortunate thing for him too. But I was very surprised that Brooke even inserted herself into this.
What you got, Keish?
I had to give Brooke something to do.
Oh man.
It annoys me that it is Brooke that Luna is fighting in, and not her not Finn, which is her family. Like we've seen Brooke and Luna in a couple of scenes together. They've had maybe like one conversation before this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know, it just felt odd to me that she confiding in Brooke about this whole thing. And also, we all know that Brooke is not going to keep this from him. She's going to blab to him the chance that she gets. The first chance.
Her sisters.
Yeah. And I don't know, as far as, there's really nothing else they can do with this storyline. We're just going to find out. They're going to pull him off of the Hope for the Future line. Because, of course, they're not going to pull RJ out of it.
Right.
And Zende is going to be the black sheep of the family. Because everybody is going to, I feel like, everybody that's involved in the storyline is going to rally around RJ. Because they've made this whole thing about RJ and not the trauma that Luna has suffered.
Yeah, I don't like the writing around that whole thing. We talked about this back in February when this was part of February sweeps. My thing is they making it clear that it wasn't grape or SA.
Mm-hmm.
They keep saying it. I know he wouldn't do that. I know that's not him. But y'all push the envelope with it.
Right.
So exactly. So it's more like inferences versus, and then trying to clean it up by saying, well, this is not what he did. And I wouldn't do anything like that. And I wouldn't, They do, however, point the finger at him for pursuing her when she was already in a relationship.
Which is laughable.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole family is laughable.
Yep.
Especially Brooke.
The way that she was just so shocked. I can't believe that your cousin would do this. That's your cousin. I can't believe that. He knew that you and Luna were in love. Like,
girl, he didn't grow up watching you do that all the time.
Exactly. Like, literally everybody in that family.
Mm-hmm.
It got with the father, the son, the brother, the daughter's husband, her boyfriend, everybody's boyfriend. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about Katie and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the Forrester men have been there, with the exception of Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
you almost did.
Ridge has done it. Thorne, they swap partners. They swap partners with their dad. Yep, Nick. Like it's like it's almost as if you're a Forrester man, that's something that you end up having to do.
It's initiation or a rite of passage.
Yeah. So I felt like Brooke totally overreacted, in my opinion, when RJ told her what Zende did. She overreacted. That's your cousin. I can't believe he would do that.
Oh yeah, girl.
Like woman, you slept with your daughter's husband. Stop it.
Right. I mean, Hope is here because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole M in the comment section says Zende's character and reputation is being destroyed. Do you guys agree?
Yes, I highly agree. They have pacified Poppy's mints and put majority of the blame on Zende now.
Yep.
Yeah, they threw him under the bus. Yep.
And this man was coming from a party where they were drinking. This girl showed up in his bed, not making any excuses, but they keep reiterating that this was consensual. It was consensual. And it makes no sense how this man is being drugged through the mud, and this girl was drugged by her mother. This was because they're not making it about the drugs. They're making it about the fact that he slept with his cousin's girlfriend.
Right.
Regardless of even if Luna. So my suspicion is that even if drugs had nothing to do with it, and let's say Luna knew she was sleeping with Zende, this would still be them like coming down on Zende because that's his cousin. Because you did that to your cousin, you shouldn't have done that to your cousin. That's how I'm taking these reactions. Because that's what everybody keeps bringing up is like, I can't. That's family. I can't believe you would do that to family
when they all have done it.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's just crazy. And even I gotta throw Carter in there for a second too, because he jumped up on Zende's side of the conversation, and I'm like, dude, you slept with his girlfriend at the time. You slept with,
almost married her.
And then on the flip side, you slept with your boss's wife. So I don't know why you throwing stones.
I don't know why he was looking so damn good in that shirt. And I was so irritated by the fact that I couldn't be fully mad. So I was like majority mad with him. But he has no right coming down on him. And we were talking about this earlier in the week. Like, he needed to relate to Zende. Because mistakes obviously happen. And Carter was given a chance. That's why it would be hard for me to believe that Ridge would just let Zende go from off the line, because Ridge himself was in that same predicament with Brooke.
Yeah.
Where he was unaware that she had took something, and we know what happened with that. So he of all people really couldn't judge, and it would be hilarious if the writers missed that.
But they might.
Oh, the fans will remind them.
Oh, that's a good one. Keisha, you highlighted another person's comment. I see it. KH. Just have Luna cheat with Zende instead of making this an issue where consent is questionable.
Right. I agree.
Because they're pushing that envelope, and what's happening in social media is people are calling him creepy and all types of things. And it's like, but y'all keep saying consent was there. It's not an issue of consent. Yeah, but the problem is what you're portraying on TV is different than what you're putting in the script. Right. They made it a gray area. Yes. And that's not something that you make a gray area.
It is not.
No.
And it's the same, as we said it before, it's the same thing they did with Thomas and Caroline. They made that a gray area situation where Caroline had taken those drugs or those pills and Thomas didn't know.
Exactly.
See, and then look, Melissa Spencer is saying, in the eyes of the law, a woman in Luna's condition could not give consent. So that's why that it's a fine line when you're dealing with something like this.
She was impaired, and at the same time, she said whatever she said about
I've been waiting for you and all of that. Yeah,
and reaches her arms out and opens her arms out, and of course we know she thought that it was RJ, but in my mind that is welcoming someone. So I think that is consent implied.
Ooh.
Is it not? I don't know.
That's what Keisha was talking about. The gray area is just too ambiguous to just say, okay, it's this way or that way. That's why everybody is saying what they're saying, because it look one way even though they're saying something else.
Well, and I gotta tell you, I mean, if I really, really, really liked someone, and if my character allowed me to, go there when they were with someone else, especially a family member, which it wouldn't. But if it did allow me to do that, and they were in my bed, and bear in mind, I'm also slightly inebriated, you'd be really happy about that and go, wow, man, this is like my dream come true. This is going to be an amazing night. So that's in my head. That's just my head. I don't know. You can't, everybody's going to have a different, this is hard. I hate this.
Yeah, I hate it.
I love Zende. Oh, I just hate it.
Because his character he was a good dude. The way they had him, his character, he was hardworking, educated. He had Paris as his girlfriend. She chose, of course, to pursue other things. He became this single guy working on the line, and then they introduced this stupid storyline. You could have just put them, they were hot together. Just put them together. RJ didn't even have to be a part of this.
Exactly. I agree with that. If they kept Zende the direction they were starting him, where he was like bad boy Zende, wanted to compete with RJ, like he could have like won her over, and they could have cheated. Yeah. Like fell into his spell and oh my god, I cheated. I fell for him, and they could have had like hot kisses or something here and there. There could have been so much they could have did with those two because they do look hot in a picture together, and it's not fun to see Zende beg for another girl again.
No, and the girl don't even want him. She's not even giving him any signals that she's torn or. She loved her some RJ. They proclaimed their love on the Wednesday or Thursday episode. And it's like at this point, Zende let it go. Just back away from it. And like Keisha was saying the past couple months, at this point, we don't even want Zende with Luna at this point. It's just, Why?
He's so beautiful.
And he's a talented actor. There's so much they could be doing with this character.
Yep.
Yep. Or bring somebody new on for him. I don't
even want him in RJ and Luna storylines at all. He's the same age as Thomas. Let him be in storylines with Thomas and all them. Him and Thomas can be BFFs like they were when they were kids. Like
right.
Yeah, when I looked it up, the guy that plays Zende is like 36 years old. And the girl that plays Luna is like 20.
Yeah, that doesn't fit. Like I thought he was the same age as Steffi and Hope. I thought he was in that age bracket. Because when Steffi wasn't she like CEO and he was like an intern? Like when he and Nicole were interns?
Yeah, I can't remember if he was an intern or if he was like just a brand new designer when he came back, or when he came on the scene as when Wrongful was playing him or not. But they're definitely supposed to be the same age because when he was adopted, him and Thomas were the same age because they were little buddies or whatever.
They need to at least expand his storyline or something. Give that actor the material that he deserves because he's a talented actor. He's really bringing it, even though the storyline is not giving him any justice for his character.
Yeah, somebody in Morpheus said, "What about Zende and Ivy?"
That's fresh.
Yeah, he could fight Liam over Ivy, I guess.
That's fresh.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be better than the RJ Zuna situation.
Or else just bring Nicole back.
I would love
Please bring her back.
We have no resolve as to what happened in that marriage, why they got divorced, who divorced who. We don't know what happened to Nicole's baby. Like it would be nice if we were to, like we were talking earlier about crossing people over, put Deacon and Sheila over in Y&R and bring Rick, Maya, and Nicole back so we can get that other storyline arc for Zende.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. V. Carter says Zende are actors better than R.J. He, well, I won't touch that one.
Well, he's much more experienced too.
Yeah, that is true. I just hate what they did with this, and it's almost seen it. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Yep, I know.
Yeah. Because I seen it in the chat. I think somebody brought it up, but I didn't want to bring light to it. But all right, let's move away from that. We got Lauren telling Deacon. Well, wait a minute. We got a conversation between Steffi and Hope, because Steffi is trying to tell Hope that her daddy is Delulu. And
Well,
And it's like, well, what else is new? You seen my mother, so.
oh, but then Hope keeps sticking it back to her, like, well, Finn is kind of looking for his mama too. So what you gonna do, girl?
I didn't really feel like she said that to her.
No, I come on, I'm just adding.
you know,
Paraphrasing.
it was really funny. There was not everybody, but there was a lot of posts online saying how, Hope set Steffi straight. I'm like, actually, they just kind of had a conversation.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it was contentious or anything.
Not for the most part. I think there was a little bit where Hope was a little bit annoyed because there's zero compassion for Deacon.
Yeah,
I thought it was for Thomas.
I seen a little bit of passive aggressiveness. I don't know.
Yeah, when she started talking about Thomas, for sure.
Oh yeah, that wasn't cool.
She was like, I miss them. I love them. And so he was like, yeah, sure.
That's funny. Oh man. Yeah,
it was weird though to see them in that really heated exchange that they had around the time that Thomas left, to just sitting at the kitchen table having, I guess it wasn't casual conversation, but I don't know.
I've seen sisters do that. I don't know that they're stepsisters, but I've seen sisters do that. It's wild.
Yeah. They gypped us on this whole romance thing between Steffi and Finn.
Oh, they sure did. They set us up, because I definitely thought we was finally getting a love scene.
Yeah, they had in the spoilers that, they're going to have a romantic getaway. And it's like, yeah, right.
He lifted that back part up. I was like, oh, okay, Finn.
That's what I was saying in the chat earlier this week when that scene happened. I was like, for a split second, I forgot I was watching daytime TV with the way he kind of
I saw that.
pushed her little cover up out of his way.
That was sexy. I was like, okay, maybe that Finn might be able to compete with Thomas, because the way he just gravitated, I was like, oh, I love that. Okay, Finn. But we got nothing after that. They decided to have a whole conversation on repeat. Like, ooh.
About Hope and Deacon.
Yeah, talk about putting a wet
blanket. Hope and Sugar. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Trish, what'd you say?
Oh, I just did talk about putting a wet blanket on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got played.
Yes, we did. It sucks. All right, then we got Lauren having a conversation with Deacon about Sugar. And Lauren was like, because at first she wasn't trying to hear what Deacon had to say until he said, who is Sugar?
The look on her face.
Yeah. It was priceless. She's like a deer in the headlights.
She was, for sure.
And then when she explained the story, that's all Deacon needed. He don't care whether that was 100% plausible or not. He was like, yep, that's it.
He was 10 toes in.
Yeah.
No, we all have to use that every chance we get.
Yeah, I know, right?
KH, you're 100% correct. Keisha would agree. This show refuses to let sin have sexy time.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that in what, a year and a half?
August 22.
Dang, girl.
It was moment number 11 minute and 43 seconds on the counter clock.
Oh my goodness, y'all
Episode
crazy.
700,
Right.
scene 8 minutes in. I feel your pain, guys. Like, they have great chemistry together. They're hot together, beautiful people. And like, the only people who was getting it on last year was Soap.
I gotta say though, is
You
that
can't leave out Luna and RJ. They will
That's
get.
true, but
Yes, we can.
yes
Yes,
we
we
can.
can.
I gotta say though that the pregnancies have really done some justice to the mommies. Cause Steffi came back with a little bit of and so did Lily.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that angle when after Finn walked up behind her and she turned around to kiss him, and her little cover up kind of moved out the way a little bit. I know. Yeah, did notice Steffi's cheeks peeking out.
And mommy weight will hit different. I will say that.
I'm telling you, babies will put some stuff in the right places. Cause like I said with what's her name, Crystal Khalil, she had that tight pencil skirt she had on. I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah, they look good.
She's never had booty.
No.
I don't mean to say it like that, but this is true. But good for them, and they bounce back, and they're ready to do the scenes. Like, Jacqueline's ready to do those love scenes. She's just ready to get to go. I don't know why the writers are not giving us.
Because they probably ain't gonna be together long. When she found out that Finn went hunting for Sheila, oh, it's a wrap.
I don't see why that would have anything to do with their love scenes now, though, because they're happy right now. Like,
I agree with you on that, Keish. We got gypped. They could at least gave us one for the road. That's what I thought they were going to do. Give us one more before they have some problems. Okay. So then now Deacon decides to put two and two together, look up all the receipts, and he kept Paige and Finn. I got to say they dragged this out this week because there was sometimes I was like, would you just show them the computer for God's sakes?
Thank you. Oh, God, that was frustrating to watch.
So it wasn't just me, Trish.
It was not just you. No, ma'am.
I'm like, why are you still trying to convince this man with words? You got emails and all types of stuff. Shut up and just show it to him. And we didn't get to see that until what, Friday?
I mean, and the picture he showed him didn't even have the release information. The laptop was on the table. Why are you using your cell phone?
Yeah, he just showed a picture of Sheila's face, not the whole article. He had a whole article that he pulled up like on Wednesday's episode or Thursday, where it just shows her getting out of prison and this is her face and her name is Janet somebody. And you could have shown no. And so of course Finn is confused, like I don't know what you're talking about. You're not showing me nothing. And I'm like, well, just show him already. Shut up about it.
I mean, you know how there's a person that marks the set hot so that nothing changes while they take a break or need to pick up the next day? Mm-hmm. Where is the person that is checking continuity and checking for stupid things like what we just talked about?
I know. It's like, just show them already. I know you need content. The show is already like,
just do it.
18 minutes. Plus commercials, and then you just dragging it out for 2 days to show him what the evidence is that you have. It was irritating to watch.
He repeated 10 toes all of last week. And now he kept repeating sugar. It's like you need to take a shot when he ever says sugar or something. But I blame Finn because he's entertaining it. If he has moved on like he promised Steffi that he would, and if that's supposed to be like the peace of mind that he's supposed to give her, why is he entertaining any phone call from Deacon? If he's saying that Deacon is insane, he's grieving, why entertain the phone calls? Why are you not going after, trying to help your patients like you have put time away to do? Like this, like, what is his end goal in all of that? And Jenna, you said something, and I would be very shocked. Is Jacqueline pregnant again?
Somebody was saying that on Facebook somewhere. I haven't seen anything with her being pregnant again. I just think that was some type of clickbaitish something that says, "Oh, she's pregnant with kid number 5," and I'm like, "Oh no, let me do my research," because people.
I would be like, girl.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about her being pregnant either.
I'd be exhausted just thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's been 2 years since we were able to get a love scene, and we know you didn't had, like, babies are a blessing, but we love to see Steffi and her flail on it.
Yeah, I mean, she just had that.
It's all about us, not you.
She just had that baby in August, I think it was. I think it was the end of August.
D. Spencer, you were wrong for that. He said she's permanently pregnant.
Wait a minute. Jenna said that she announced it on April 4th. Where was it, Jenna? I didn't see anything being announced on April 4th.
Me neither.
Wow. If that's true, I guess congratulations.
All I can say is that if it is true, they trying to get a boy. I mean a girl. Because she got 4 boys. She probably want her little girl if that's the case. Allegedly. Because I don't want nobody. Allegedly.
I don't know, man. Y'all are talking to a 10th, so, accidents happen over and over.
Yeah.
And over.
So, yep. But anyway, yeah, I was just over this whole thing. So, they get to the alley. We see the homeless guy played by Clint Howard. Hey, Trish, did you ever used to watch Star Trek back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah.
You remember him playing the 6-year-old kid?
I certainly do.
Every time I see him, it reminds, because I'm a Trekkie from not the old ones from with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and all of them.
Yes.
I remember him as a kid on there. He was hilarious. He took them through all type of craziness as a kid.
He sure did. That was so great.
And now to see him 50 years later and he's back on the scene, it's just so funny. But he was like, I don't forget a face. If you show me the person, I'll know if I've seen her. Now,
it's Ron Howard's brother, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Did you
guys? I feel bad. I can't remember his name.
Who? Him? The homeless guy?
Yeah.
Clint Howard.
Clint. Yeah, thank you. And you said that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He made a lot of films.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the girl that was in the alley is Sean Kanan's stepdaughter.
Oh.
Yep.
Very cool.
I think I dropped it in the Instagram story for folks that did not know. Yep.
It's with me.
Wait. Let me see. Yeah, her name is dang it, I had it earlier. I think it's Juliana or Janet or some Juliana, I think it is. But yeah, that the young girl that's playing that didn't know who Sheila was, yeah, that's his stepdaughter in real life. So, yep. Fun fact. So, I mean, we really didn't have a lot except, we got that last scene with that hand under the mattress. So, I must answer me this question. Was that door locked? They had to kick it in, right? I think we saw the preview.
In the preview, yeah. You see Deacon kick in the door.
Okay. Because I'm like, if she was just in there, she should have just came out. But I saw something that says that there's going to be a remake of A New Face or something. So I'm wondering, I don't know. Is this actually going to be Kimberlyn or what?
I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get what this is. This storyline is such a dead end. Like,
yeah.
And another storyline that they're writing in circles, like they're doing, like they did with Jordan. It's being written. Everything is just going in circles. Like Finn and his conflicted feelings again. This whole Sheila is missing. She's presumed unalive, but we find out that she's not. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand. What are they trying to do?
And
what is the end goal here?
And it's presumed that Sheila's in the alley. And I'm like, so what was Sugar's purpose of going after Steffi?
To set her up and get her in trouble.
But if she knew that she attacked Sheila, what was the point of attacking?
So she probably thought that she was going to get away. She didn't expect to get with a knife.
Yeah.
And so I think she expected to come in, maybe do a break-in and stuff, which is obviously a crime. And of course, with Sheila having history, it would be a situation of her violating any, if there's any probations or whatever. She was going to get away, and then Sheila probably would have been back at the house, and the police would come looking for her, and Steffi would have identified her, or any film. But it blew up in Sugar's face when Steffi did what she did.
Oh, that's so messed up.
Totally.
I just don't. They've dragged the Sheila thing out for way too long. Like, there's literally nothing else that they can do with the character, and even having Finn once again, like what he said to Deacon is, I might have a second chance with my birth mom. I'm like, did you completely forget that would be an issue for your marriage? So it's like what I was saying to you guys earlier this week is, I want them to have Finn pick a freaking lane. Like, either you want a relationship with your mom, your birth mom, or you want to keep your marriage. Like, just pick one and stick with it. Because there's going to be no situation where Steffi is going to accept Sheila being in their lives, or him, wanting a relationship with her while she's married to him. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. So I just want them to have him pick one and stay there and stop going back and forth. This has been the dumbest storyline ever. Like, it just makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, especially whenever that's the woman who literally pew-pewed you and your wife and left you both for 6 feet under.
Yeah, that's why it makes no sense. If this was before the shooting, okay, understandable. But it's been, 2 years since, and you still you don't hate this woman's guts? Like, you don't despise her with every bone in your body?
Mm-hmm.
So if this wasn't enough, if the attempted murders were not enough for him to completely just hate her, then there isn't going to be anything that's going to make him hate her. Mm-hmm. And he's going to want to continue to have to wonder about, or want to have a relationship with her. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just rip the Band-Aid off and let it happen, so we can move on to something else.
I agree. I mean, are you trying to redeem the character? That's not going to happen. You might be able to redeem the character in Finn's eyes, maybe. But the Forresters and the Spencers, you can forget about it.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
It didn't change anything that she had done previous to her being a victim of Sugar, if that's what this turns out to be. Mm-hmm.
You might as well go to Y&R.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would make sense. And be in there with Jordan.
Yeah. Phyllis.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the most entertaining thing for her to do.
And see the face.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this week on Bold, it was, yeah. I mean, did you guys find it pretty interesting?
It's
my little crumbs of makeout sessions that I got from seeing. Yeah. That's about it, though.
I'm seeing in the comment section a lot of people are missing Thomas.
Yeah, I do miss Thomas.
I'm just wondering if they're when they're gonna bring him back. I heard we heard Ridge say he's taking a break. So obviously it means he probably gonna be back sometime. But the question is when. Is he coming back for these sweeps or later?
Like September sweeps?
September.
Not
September.
September. What? Sorry. Okay. I meant November sweep.
Wait a
You gotta
minute.
be kidding me.
Wait a minute. She moved it to November.
November.
What?
I would assume he wouldn't come back for May sweeps. Otherwise, there would have been like writing leading towards that. So I would assume maybe he'll come towards the end of the year if the actor's taking a break.
My question is, how is he going to return? Just show back up and say, hey? Or is it because, I mean, if this fashion line, Hope for the Future, don't work out well because of the fact of the whole Zende and R.J. and Luna situation, you're going to need somebody to take care of that, right? And Thomas was the inspiration for the whole darn thing. So that could bring him back. It's not Ivy because we obviously saw Ivy smooching with Liam, which Steffi looked kind of perturbed by it. Which why?
Well, wait a minute though. Why do y'all think he's taking this long of a break and not just a normal, like maybe a month off or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. That was her talking about November sweeps.
Yeah, it's already been a month, and I don't expect them to be here for May because they would be filming for May. And plus, bring him back to what? Because he already quit the line. He already quit Hope, and they already said that he settled in over in Europe.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. I'm hoping that I'm thinking that he will. The question is when. And like you say, he's what, been gone a month? I think you said, right, Bree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, wasn't Thorsten was gone for
3
a little
months.
over a month too, right?
3
He was
months.
gone for 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just assumed it was maybe a little break like that, not something that's gonna last until next year. We're talking about November.
Look, we're already here at May. He's definitely not going to come back in May. I would assume he'll be back hopefully before November.
Well, I'm wondering if that's why they brought Ivy in the interim, because we need something to kind of spice up the show. They gotta realize that the whole R.J. Zende thing was a colossal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't know what's gonna happen with this paternity. We haven't seen Lee in ages.
Right.
Sheila.
Yeah.
Even with the whole thing with Sheila supposedly being gone, Lee was nowhere around that. I think maybe once she had a conversation with Finn when he was seeing things and touching blood and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was the
She
only.
should have been all up in that story.
Yeah. What happened to Bill and Poppy? We don't see that romance anymore.
Mm-mm.
And then again, what about Luna's father? It's just so many loose ends, and they just did away with the one storyline that was carrying the show. I mean, Thomas and Hope was, even though we had our issues because we talked about two of them ad nauseum about who was right and wrong about marriage or not, but they were the bread and butter of the show for the last almost year. So
Yeah. It was a gift that kept on giving, and we loved every moment of it. And that's why if he comes back, what is he coming back to? Is he going to try to make things work with Hope?
right.
And is he going to try to come back on the line? Like, if he's going to come back in the same role he was just in, then he might as well stay in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, what is he coming back to? So I thought maybe putting him with Ivy in some kind of way could have really, but no, she's headed over to Liam. So
She loved that whole thing.
When he does come back on the show, they're going to jump right back into the Thope stuff.
you think so?
In one way or another. I mean, not saying that they're going to immediately get back together, but they're not going to pretend like the last year didn't happen, and then eventually they'll creep their way back into each other's lives. There's no way that they're like completely just done with Thope. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, but now one of the two of them is gonna have to concede. If they get back together, either he's gonna have to drop the marriage thing, or she's gonna actually say, "Okay, let's do it." Somebody gonna have to concede, if because they made the ending of him leaving about that.
I think it'll be her. I think she will have missed him so much and will never want him to leave again that she is going to
Wait a
realize
minute,
that
I
she
said
does want to marry him.
Trish back there
It's gonna
laughing.
be. I'm sorry. I was gonna say it's gonna be kind of hard for her to do that when she has her chest open with this man at funerals and she's popping up at the house for no reason to talk to him.
And
To Finn, I mean,
You know,
she's making herself available to a whole other man. The longer Thomas is gone, the longer another man's gonna creep in.
But Finn doesn't want her.
yeah, but that don't mean she don't want him. She talking about how
Right.
great he a husband, and oh my God, Steffi, you're so blessed.
Uh-huh.
I don't think she wants Finn either.
What'd you say?
I don't think she wants Finn
Well,
either.
she's doing a mighty good job admiring him.
The minute Thomas steps back into town, she will forget every other man that she's seen in the last however many months it will have been since he's been gone.
I hope that happens, but Ridge said that man settled in overseas. So I don't know how long that trip is going to be for. So in that meantime, she has been without any teen. So
Yeah, after getting awakened and not having this kind of a letdown.
she went to awake with her chest open for Finn in hopes to try to lure him or try to slowly, passive aggressively try to get at him.
Yeah, now Finn is clearly, he's kind of doing like Luna. He is clearly not interested. He's like, look, you need to go back to Liam. I got my own wife over here.
You need to go back to Liam.
She remember he told her that. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
He did, which was annoying because you're. I think I said it before, contradicting yourself because in one breath you say that Liam was toxic, and then the next you told her to give him another chance.
Right. Yeah, get back over there and give little puke another chance.
Yeah.
Which we know why he's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
Well,
needs somebody to keep Liam busy.
yeah, Liam keep talking out of both sides of his neck, talking about being a good dad, but at the same time eyeballing Steffi.
Yep.
Man.
All right, I think we covered everything because Bo didn't have a super lot. So, I mean,
Yeah, it was the same conversation all week about Sheila and Deacon being delusional and
and
Luna and
Deacon holding out the information and couldn't get his words out and show the evidence. Oh gosh, yeah.
I tell you what, man, that scene with those feet being shown going into that fire box, you start looking at the bottom of your feet going, man, I might need to get a pedicure.
Oh my goodness. I think I seen something behind the scenes. That was actually fake feet or something, somebody said. And I think Carter had a part in writing that whole thing in that crematorium scene, according to him. So, I mean, Lawrence had a part in doing the writing of that. So, all right. So let's get to our 2 final segments. And oh yeah, star of the week and the pickle of the week. Flip the script. So if there's a particular scene or storyline you wish you could change, this is where we flip the script. What you got? What you flipping?
I would flip and they put Jordan in actual jail and actually go through proper channels to get the job done and actually properly try to find Claire.
Okay. What you got, Keish?
Mine would be when Tucker and Audra ran into Ashley. Instead of engaging in a conversation with her, they just would have walked on past her.
Okay. What about you, Trish?
I wish Tracy would not have let her go to the bathroom by herself at the doctor appointment.
Oh, okay. I would say I wish Harrison, instead of tossing that sandwich, you know how you do with those pies, smashing
Oh
in Jordan's face.
yeah,
He takes it like, oh yeah, let me have that. Smash right in the
that's
face.
a good one. You do that with a nice open face, right?
Right. Then maybe he could have ran because she would be able to see with peanut butter all up in her eyes.
Right.
All right,
That's
what y'all got for bold?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, blah blah blah.
A lot of what I actually would have left for a love scene between Steffy and Finn.
Oh,
Mhm.
I agree.
Yes, absolutely. It should have been a full love scene instead of that 2-second makeout session that we got.
What you?
Also, I wish that Finn would have been present for that conversation that Deacon and Lauren had when she was
That's a good
describing
one.
what Sheila did to her.
Okay. What you got, Trish?
So, you know how everybody was always talking about Steffi needed to tell Finn about those 2 kisses? Finn needs to tell Steffi about those 2 faces.
What faces?
Sheila and Sugar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Because he didn't tell her.
Nope. He's been sneaking off with Deacon. Okay, and I don't know. My flip would have been Deacon showing that evidence sooner. I just didn't like the drag out all week. It's just like you keep talking about toes and sugar. Okay, give me some more context, sir.
Right. I agree.
All right. Who's taking some seats this week? Young and the Restless.
Jack and Victor can take a seat.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Nikki.
Yeah. Perfect.
Being a busybody.
Perfect.
I gotta say Billy need to take a seat, and Devon need to take a seat for not telling his sister about Nate.
Yeah, those are 2 good ones too.
Yeah, I agree with all those.
Cause Billy trying to finesse and play games and get all in her soft side, trying to team up with her, knowing that he want her job. So, and maybe Lily need to check him. Like, no, I'm not having dinner with you. I see you at work tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. I think honestly, for me, for Y&R, the way Mamie spoke to Lily was so disrespectful. I'm going to say Mamie also needs to take a seat.
Okay. You know what? We didn't even we had one small other piece in Young and the Restless, which was Audra and Tucker. Audra was talking about how much she loved him and how many trips that she can get flued out to.
She already just ready to spend his man's money. Okay.
I know, right?
You go, girl.
Oh, wow.
He knew exactly what he was getting when he got her, and he wanted to put a ring on it.
Exactly, man. You knew what you were getting. Be ready for it.
She said,
don't be surprised and don't complain.
Yeah, she said, I don't want no ring, but you know what? You can take me anywhere you want me to go.
Right. We'll put a ring around the globe a few times.
And then he got there to sit there talking about, you know what you need to do. And she like, no. Get married.
When she bats those eyelashes, it's like, oh my God. How could he not just go, okay, what do you want? Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Them two, I wish they just had to put him with Phyllis back earlier this year and put her with Nate, but that's just too much like right.
Yeah. Who with Nate?
Audra. Girl, that way. Hold on. Listen, hold on. You're not on the show, ma'am.
This is not
so Nate, listen, that scene when, like, I always go back to it. It's ingratiated in my memory when he was sitting on that chair and she about to climb on top of him. It was about to be over. Tucker had to go in there and ruin it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, go out.
Yep.
And it's good that he did, because now he found him a sort of wife. So good for him. And they left Nate alone to the point
Listen,
where,
we remember what Nate was doing with swinging Victoria across that room, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, when Elena was giving her soliloquy about how horrible they were. Yeah, they had him in the background swinging her across and hair flying everywhere. Take that
yeah,
energy and put that with Audra crawling down the bed like she did with Kyle.
Oh,
Them
yeah.
two would be fire together.
They would bring.
I'm sorry, Bree. You gonna have to go and close your eyes somewhere.
I'll skim past that.
We could get a videographer to superimpose your face.
Dang.
There you go.
There you go. See you handling all your issues. I appreciate that.
I got you
Oh
back.
my God, girl! Listen, they messed up when they didn't put them two together. Good grief! I was hoping for that
I
scene.
agree with that.
Oh man, they left us hanging on that one. I was so mad at Tucker. I'm like, get out. All right. Back to taking seats. Did everybody have all their seats for Young and the Restless?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. What y'all got for bold?
Ben.
Brooke,
Dang.
That was fast.
Yeah, I know.
I hadn't even had time to register the question.
For two reasons. One, because he keeps entertaining Deacon.
Mm-hmm.
And two, for not picking Steffy up and carrying her into that bedroom.
Dang.
Instead of just standing there making out with her.
Okay. So you gave Finn a couple of seats.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you got, Bree?
I had Brooke in a seat. Just the gall of this woman putting a lot of blame on Zende and say like, oh, how could anyone do this? How could anyone imagine the things that you have done, Brooke?
Right.
And the fact that she opened her arms up to this girl, she don't know this girl from a can of paint, but
Nope.
won't get that same courtesy to Thomas. So yeah, she
Right.
can take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
What you got,
You know,
Trish?
I mean, y'all might not agree with me with this one, but I think RJ needs to take a seat for exposing what happened between him and Zende and Luna to Brooke, and I think Zende needs to take a seat for exposing it to Carter. Because y'all know now, everybody's going to know
Mm-hmm.
Luna's entire history, period. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Luna is now completely flayed open and exposed there.
That's not the first time RJ did that either.
Exactly. It just makes me mad. Like, y'all say you care about her and you're worried about her, but yet now you have spoken about her,
Mm-hmm.
about the worst night of her life with a huge mistake where her mother was involved. Like, I realize that maybe at times people need to talk to somebody, but go to a therapist that doesn't know everybody in your life.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
annoyed by
They
that.
should have told that girl, like, I mean, at least RJ, you know, I want to kind of talk to my mom. I need somebody. No, they just blurted it out to other people, and she has no idea that all these other people know. Well,
Yeah.
she know Brooke knows now,
Yeah.
but Carter gonna be looking at her sideways too now.
Right, right.
You know. Now I'm sorry, Bree. I gotta put Carter in the seat because he's a hypocrite.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up there.
His dialogue was in they should have been, you know what, dude, I've been there. It's
Yep.
not it I felt bad, like I understand how you feel, like that kind of thing. And not so like judgmental and lecturing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, yeah, Carter, yeah. I normally you and your beard need to take a seat, so.
You and your beard. Carter did look good this week though.
Yes, he did. That's why it was hard to be mad at him,
Mm-hmm.
even though I was. So I had to watch back and put him on mute so I can enjoy him still.
All right, so now we got the other two. Who's y'all star of the week? I'm gonna say Little Harrison.
What'd you say?
I said Harrison.
Yeah, I was going to actually give it to Colleen, who plays Jordan. Actually, the scenes that she did have, that was very jarring, and I think she did a very good job.
Mm-hmm. What y'all got, Trish and Keish?
I'm gonna give it to Allison again, but I did like Harrison scenes, so I'd agree with Harrison as well.
Yeah, everything between him and that peanut butter sandwich and calling her the witch lady. The witch lady.
The witch lady. God, that was so funny. Yeah, I would give it to Eileen Davidson and Little Harrison.
Yeah.
And honestly, Colleen as well. They all three of them their performances were so good.
Mm-hmm. All right, what about on Bold?
Wasn't really so. I'll give it to the London Metz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. The actor who plays Zende, because when he was talking to Carter this week, like you could see even like in his eyes, you could see his eyes watering, like he wanted to cry. So I'll give it to him. So I think he shows his emotion very well.
All right, what y'all got, Trish and Bree?
I'll give it to Catherine Kelly Lang's Tears.
Oh my goodness.
They work on cue even for no damn reason.
You know, she does have that ability. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, you know who else can do that is Melissa Claire Egan and Heather Tom.
Oh God, yes. They're so good. Who do I think on Bold?
Well, while you thinking, Melissa Claire Egan actually did a clip on Instagram being to cry on cue, and she actually did it in that Instagram video.
I'll have to go look at it.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Trish.
And in the comments says Lauren.
Oh, Lauren.
Yeah, that's not a bad one either, because the way she was describing her history with Sheila to Deacon.
Oh yeah, she was living in the terrified moment all over again.
It's hard for me because this week was just repetitive. I can't really just single out somebody's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess I can give it to Clint Howard, you know.
I was gonna say that. I was looking at his picture going, yeah, okay, Clint.
Yeah, you know, he's been doing this for so long, and like I said, every time I've seen him through the years, it always take me back to the Corbomite Maneuver episode. That's what it was called, Trish.
Cool. Thanks for looking that up.
On Star Trek, oh my God, he gave them the blues. Oh, it was so funny. But anyway, to this day, I always remember him for that, so I'll give him that for Star of the Week. And we'll get him again on Monday, too. I think he's only here for like 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right, and the pickle of the week?
Really, I can't think of a pickle.
Me neither.
I think the only pickle for me is the fact that Nikki's not in rehab.
Yes.
And that Ashley's not in therapy, like in-house in therapy.
Yeah, she needs some inpatient.
Yeah, she does.
I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
Yep, she sure do. What about for Bold?
The pickle is the loopholes in everyone's stories.
Yeah, it's just the writing of the dragging of Deacon can't get his story out, so that's how I'll give it to it. That was just irritating this week. I know I didn't re-emphasize it several times, but it just is. It's just like, dude, just spit it out. Show them what you got. Stop talking.
Right. And the whole Luna R.J. Zende, that whole storyline in itself is a permanent pickle.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
K, and I think somebody else said like Vicky Langer and KH. Them doggone toes is the 10 toes need to take a seat and a pickle for the 10 toes according to K. So, all right. Well, I would say Young and the Restless had a lot more going on than Bold to me this week. So, y'all got anything else?
Yeah. I did like I liked hearing the tidbits about how Thomas and Douglas were doing from
Yeah.
Bridge and stuff.
Yep, I agree with that. Y'all got anything else, Bree and Trish?
No, I just really hope that May Sweeps is actually going to be worth watching for Bull, because it's not looking good over the past couple of months. I hate to say that.
What are you guys' predictions as far as Ivy is concerned?
I'm just curious of the fact that she happened to see this guy that she ain't seen since 2018, because that's the last time she was on the show. So you're talking 6 years, and then she just up and kissed a man. I'm curious to see how we arrive at that kiss.
Right.
So if you dated someone a long time ago and then you see them, do you kiss them that way?
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I don't.
I guess if the feelings are still there.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, Liam has been trying to get at Steffi for the last 8 months. So unless he gonna change his tune and say, "Ooh, new girl," I mean.
Well, I mean, when him and Hope were talking, and he was giving Hope his whole spiel about wanting to change his ways and focus on himself and his daughters, she had said there was something that she alluded to that was kind of like, "So have you given up on Steffi?" or something like that. Because he made this face and he was like, "I know what you're thinking, and I've realized that's not something that is going to happen." I forget how he worded it, but it was almost like he was acknowledging that he needed to let that go because it wasn't right, or it wasn't going to happen, or something like that. So maybe since he has acknowledged that he won't have an issue moving on and doing whatever with Ivy.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Cause I want to see how we get to that kiss so quick. So.
And why Steffi was looking like she was jealous.
Exactly.
I didn't get that Steffi looked jealous. I'm going to wait until next week to see like the full context of her reaction. To me, it looked more like she was surprised to see Ivy, and also kind of like she's been here 5 minutes and she already jumping in kind of thing. Because to me, it wouldn't make. Why would she be jealous of Ivy, but she wasn't jealous of Hope?
She was jealous. That look on that girl's face, because when Steffi's surprised, that mouth drops and flies will catch in it. The way that she looked when she saw when she saw Ivy and Liam together, that was something we've seen before, where she would get mad and get insecure and in defense mode. And it just looked like she was jealous to even see that girl even talking to that man or in that man's face.
I kind of took it as a so much for focusing on your daughters. I didn't take it as she was like, "Ooh, it's Ivy. Why is Ivy kissing him?" I took it as Liam's kissing another woman in public, and he was just talking about focusing on being a dad to the kids. Does she even know that's Ivy from behind?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I can't wait. To me, it just wouldn't make sense for her to be jealous of that. Liam's been married for the last, or had been married for the last 4 years, 5 years.
I guess the only thing I could see her getting jealous is that attention being taken away from her. Even though some people, even though they don't want to be with the person, they like the attention.
Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And who was guilty of that? Laura from Family Matters. As much as Steve was in her face, she couldn't stand him. The moment that he switched off, she didn't like not having the attention, even though she truly didn't want to be with him. So we'll see if that's the case. So anyway,
Ridiculous.
all right, you guys. Other than that, do you have anything else?
No, this was fun.
Yep, it was good. We had a good one. All right, so stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of April 29th through May 3rd. The spoilers for The Young and the Restless is also already put up in the blog, so you can go check that out. Look in the link in the bio on the Instagram if you follow on Instagram, and on Facebook because I put it in the group. The spoilers for next week for The Young and the Restless. Bold is not out yet, so I'll put them on as soon as I get all of the daily spoilers for Bold. So until then, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.